What do you see? Are we live or fully up? No, upcoming. It's actually live. Alrighty. Howdy, folks. I'm BroJ the Gorilla, and this is Darth Maximus, and we are trying this again because we didn't finish the state of play last night. Yeah, my bad. The Summer Games Fest. So, yeah. In the interest of time, we won't bore you. We'll just get straight into it. Hit play, maestro. There's nothing mature about this. Speaking of speaking of not mature, hello, Mr. Keeley. Let him have it. He lies as effortlessly as he breathes. Yeah, didn't want to spoil it for you. Well, we knew 6 was on the way at some point. Nah, it's just they're remaking 4 and then they're going straight to 6. Which is what I hoped. I actually would hope they'd do 1 and 2 as well, because not many people had access to 1 and 2. And also, I was hoping 1, 2, 4, and 6. That being said, also Shin Megami Tensei. Also, him bragging about these new Steam games. Are we gonna bring up the fact that there have been multiple levels of layoffs? Doesn't that count as indie? Isn't that indie? But whole question, then wouldn't also mixtape count as non-indie? Tell that to the journalists and those who are defending it. Wasn't there like one guy? By the way, he also gave it a glowing review. Remember, you don't have to have skill to play mixtape. You just gotta like input a couple of commands here and there, and just let the game go on its own. Anyway, pause there. Oh, that is rich coming from the present day culture. Some games are just not meant for you. Did you just not see the massive loss of mentality that came with the new God of War game? Some people just saying they're not into it because of whatever reason, and every self righteous lunatic came out the woodwork saying, "No, you're just misogynist. Just give the game a chance." Even Classic Man D coming out with a soapbox going, "I just wish we could all just love games. Oh, eat me." This entire experience has been proof that people cannot leave well enough alone or accept that some people aren't cool with certain things. Is that also not just that? Think about it like this. We got people hijacking IPs just to start sending spin offs that they know are going to be controversial. My question is, why did they have to do that to God of War? God of War was already at a point where even if it was no controversy behind it, it was still going to make bank regardless because it's a God of War game and most people will play anything just like Nintendo people as long as you just put the right name on it. But instead, they have to go the extra mile. How much money did they sink in that thing to have to go that far? Or who the hell did they listen to in order to get it? I've been hearing Sweet Baby Ink rumors, but I don't want to say it. I'm just saying I've been hearing rumors. Anita Sarkeesian? Yeah, she's been making a resurgence lately. I don't know if you've noticed. She's been make My theory is she's using the Sweet Baby Inc. New hate that comes from whatever they're doing in order to slide back into their good graces and try to meet Naughty Dog and whoever again. That's my personal tinfoil hat theory. But Ditch, aren't we being misogynists for having that opinion? Anyway, we're sorry. That's true. Kazuma Kazuma would be proud. You know, just putting this out there. This is I actually have come to appreciate one thing about you. It is hard to rage bait you besides one kryptonite, and it's Anita Sarkeesian, and I'm here for it. Yeah. But anyway, let's continue. I don't want to keep you too late. Think this is. Oh, we're in France. For a second, I thought it was Gotham. Hello, Telegram. Pause there. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because we're trying to do the whole DSLR thing and make it like ready for DSLR or whatever. But I'm sorry. The more realistic they try to make game characters, it just looks creepier and creepier and creepier. Oh yeah, as Gundam put it himself, it's just a face filter at this point. Anyway, imagine how longer. Imagine Final Fantasy 16 would have been longer and actually felt like a Final Fantasy game with length. Oh yeah, and it's a fun game for how much you have it. The length is just yikes. Right now, their games feel too short. Well, okay, Rebirth and 15 didn't feel too short. They just felt incomplete narratively. Oh, good lord, that was too short. And the controls were made so easy. It was hurtful. Look, with 15, you could just say it's the way we've played the games and how long we've played the games and how many times we've gone back to them, to the point of why it feels easier. Because that's something I critique my personal perspective. But when you compare it to Final Fantasy VII Remake, good lord, those controls are painfully easy. It was a step in the right direction, but it was easy. Then it's like Rebirth is like is the perfect middle for me, if I'm gonna be honest. But don't worry, I'm sure the purists of turn-based will come after us and say we're newbies or chuds or whatever the new insult is. I'm seeing sexist make a comeback. Probably more. Five alone, I think. Oh yeah, don't remind me. Anyway, and you're not. Did you have to? Oh, uh, pause there. The fuck is this voice actress doing? I can't tell if she's young or like she's trying to do weird flirt with the young voice, or is it just me? Because she sounds very creepy, like very weird, like not creepy in the proper way of horror creepy, like creepy like she's trying to infantilize herself with her voice. Yeah, because it's just like it. I think it's the French accent that is making her sound weirdly flirtatious. Is it me? Is it maybe just me? Like I always say, you don't go to France to find love. You go to France to get laid. Oh yeah. No, apparently not. Apparently neither is shaving. I could say something mean about YouTube, but I don't want to be heated. So ah, unless maybe it's just the Indian internet on your side. You know when she doesn't go high pitched. Ah, Veronica. I was thinking it might have been, but I didn't see any undead, so I didn't want to assume. And I stand corrected. My question is, does that game even do anything for them anymore? Huh, we were just talking about Cuphead. Pause there. Think the journalists are gonna be excited about this? Oh, the memes are gonna be glorious. History repeating itself, and it's just glorious. Oh, before I forget to ask you, what did you think of Code Veronica? Actually, now that you mention it, nothing. There wasn't any gameplay at all. It was just creepy mansion, or creepy building, and then some ambient shots, blood, and then zombie jump scare. So, well, I guess for the Resident Evil fans, it's going back to the horror roots that you guys have been complaining about for a long time. I'm sorry, it's Resident Evil's not my household. Uh, Watch Dogs? Ah, wasn't you weren't a fan, huh? Was I barely remember. Like, remember Watch Dogs 1 came out a long time ago. Uh, bro- Brother man, it's your fault for having faith in the begin with to begin with these people. Anyway, I have no other thoughts for I got no other faith for Resident Evil. Do you have faith in do you have any words to say? I got like zero words to say. I mean, I would assume the Final Fantasy people are happy because their thing is being done again. Even if they're I mean, oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, for what I understand from the people who have been playing Resident Evil and what they say about it, they weren't all that happy with the prior game's protagonists, but you can never go wrong with Claire Redfield and the original group that everybody loves. And if that's the case, they're eating good, even though I think they would prefer a game where Chris and all of them were young again and not a remake or a prequel. So I don't know what the plan is. Yeah. Oh no, apparently a lot of people found him too meh, from what I remember hearing. Like they wanted he was well. Actually, the irony is he's not normal because of the whole mold situation. But to be fair, yeah, he was. It was a shock to him. He actually was abnormal and wasn't BSing like Leon Kennedy and them. I mean, name me a human who can punch a boulder. Do we count that as no? No, hold on a second. No. Oh, Peebo Bryson died. Oh, Peebo Bryson. He was a singer. Uh, the best way I can put it this way is if you remember the original version of the song Beauty and the Beast from the old Disney movie, he was the male voice singing alongside Celine Dion. It's, for those who don't know, that movie is my favorite uh, Renaissance Disney movie. So for me, that's it kind of hits a little rough. I really love that song and I really love that movie. But yeah, I just saw it pop up on my feed and that just depressed me. Anyway, I don't want to detract any further. I got nothing else to add to the Resident Evil. I assume you got nothing else to add for Resident Evil as well? Uh, Yeah, I don't think. Actually, never mind. I was gonna say, come on. Nintendo can't afford the bad press, but then I remembered their fan base. They can take it. I actually have to. I actually have to look further into that. But anyway, like my thinking is that it's not even just that. Remember, Nintendo is basically the Disney of gaming. So, and just even down to from marketing, mascots, even down to the way they're litigious. And so, yeah, I can easily see that the fan base will just let it slide. They've let all sorts of shit slide when it comes to Nintendo. So, yeah. Let me put it to you this way: fan made YouTube films. eh, People, this got overshadowed because of Star Wars, but because Disney, well, did their Disney shenanigans and basically went scorched earth on anybody who was making content. But Nintendo also did some nuking of certain channels when they were doing some fan made things that weren't monetized at all. They were just fan edits and creations. Even memes revolving around the game. They eased up on the game memes, but they were game memes. Sorry, they eased up on that, but when it comes down to what was happening with other creators who were just making jokey videos and whatnot, they really went scorched earth at the beginning. They've eased up, but like I think Disney's the only one that still goes balls to the wall insanity. Eh, I wouldn't say Disney maybe because Disney's propped up by their theme parks. Nintendo, even their shitty content, they still make money because of how much of a chokehold they have. Think about it, dude. People will still play and go back to old Nintendo games. they'll buy the exact same game just because it's on the Switch and Switch 2. Disney on the other hand, Disney on the other hand cannot do that with their old stuff. Yeah, even for some people who actually, yeah, because I remember there were some people who actually bought like used consoles. They were blocked because their whole crackdown on, what was it, piracy? Is that what they called it? Oh yeah, IP theft. Yeah, they were being like super difficult to deal with when people were just saying, "Dude, we have the receipts. We paid for these things. They're just secondhand," and they didn't really accept. I swear, Kirsha, fr- uh, f- Kirsha, Gundam, and even Smugglana and many, many more, including Vera Dark and Rev, were saying it, and they weren't lying. You will own nothing, and you will be happy that you own nothing. You say that, but the AI overlords are coming for us all. Anyway, because speaking of Cuphead, now going back to Cuphead, we might as well give our thoughts since it's relatively paused. Well, it was for Cuphead. Yeah, it actually looks like it's the one game that is dodged controversy purely. Like no one has anything to say, and I'm actually looking forward to it more than anything. Because I have been seeing a lot more people excited about Cuphead, mostly because they're ready to see journalists mess up again. But overall, even overall, both sides are happy. Well, I mean, oh no, it'll screw them. It'll screw them heavily. Remember, they're all hanging on by a life thread. They can only dodge the payslips for so long. Uh, Wait and see. Look, looking at what they were showing us, they know not to mess with the money. And they're also a smaller studio, so they're not too big to fail. Eh, smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Smart move. So for now, we can just wait and see. As for Cuphead, all we can do is just go, all right. They don't seem to be screwing with the money. Yeah, yeah. Bloodborne? I can only dream. Oh yeah. I swear, Fleek was right. He's gonna die on that. He's gonna die before that ever happens. But no, we need a female God of War game. Uh, I mean, uh, oh, what was it called again? The, yeah, Astrobot. Yeah, that's the world we live in. Fleek will die before it happens. With the way he's been lusting after Bloodborne, he just might. You ever noticed why? You ever wondered why we have so many horrors? That and they're the cheapest. That and they're the cheapest. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Alien is evergreen when it comes to horror. Even its most shittiest versions is still considered liked. Well, I would assume they're just going to continue their age-old recipe of the smaller versions of the games, where they just say one of the xenomorphs landed on Earth and now everybody panic. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I just froze for a second. What were you saying? What were you saying? Yeah, I'm timing out for here and there. I think it's because I'm installing a new. I'm doing driver updates. Yeah, but overall, what were you saying? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Because that thing, that was leaning into other things rather than it going with the. Yeah, I mean it is because it is seeming like leaving money on the table. Ugh. Seriously, hate when that happens. Uh, hello? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, that was weird. The if I was to gauge what if I was to yeah if I was to gauge what I was thinking about Alien and all this, it is money on the table. Well, leaving money on the table by not connecting the TV series and the movie. But I don't know. I really don't assume that bright in order to do so. Let me check something. Uh, uh, hold on. Don't switch. Alien Isolation 2. Alien Isolation 2 connected to the movies. Yes, it is indeed connected to the movies. The sequel will center around them. Yeah, we're sticking with the daughter. It's not even the Bloodlines problem. Remember, it's the company that is consistently trying to like bring the aliens to Earth so they can experiment on them. Well, you could be like Newt who died off screen in like the I think it was the third movie. Could be like Newt who died off screen after having an entire movie trying to save her. Like, good lord, I think everybody felt like, what was the point after that? To the point where they just like they treat it like the sequel trilogy of Disney and just pretend it doesn't exist. There is always a way. If I was to give my 2 cents on the Alien franchise, I think overall it's going to work. It's going to work very well. The fans really do enjoy their Alien content, even if they will bitch about it post. They sound like battered wives most of the time, but yeah, I think they'll be happy. I mean, a lot of them, most people don't really come in for the plot unless you're going real diehard fans of the old movies. Because I haven't heard a lot of people talk about the plot. Yes, for as a staunch defender of both, I am one of those guys myself. Yeah, true. Anyway, I got nothing else to add. Do you got anything to add? I mean, look, Alien is not really my household. I'm more into J horror and what have you. Yep. Go take a piece. I'm heading to the bathroom while he's yapping. I'm back. Oh, what's up? I'm back. Playing this again? Ah. Well, let this be a lesson, kids. Always drink a lot of water and stay healthy. Even and whew, that was a bad riff. Always drink your water, and yeah, you'll be regular, and you'll make somebody like Ditch have to hold the fort long enough. And who knows what shenanigans your partner may show to the public. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Epic Games. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. I'm getting Electric State doing the fusion dance with Shadow of the Colossus vibes. Pause there. Is this a movie or a game? Seriously, Fleek is right. They are not beating the allegations with these movie games. I can't tell what's combat and what isn't. Like, this looks like a trailer for some generic action movie that's set in space. That that boxing movie? Ah, I was I was gonna go. I was gonna go with what was it? Project. No, not Pacific Rim. I thought it was gonna be like Project Hail Mary, like the sequel. Well, again, it's another. Look, maybe it's just me, but maybe the nice thing about the like old days of games, you could see what was the cutscene and what was the gameplay with the different art styles or the different like looks. So for here, you could tell me this is a cutscene and I'd believe you. You could tell me this is gameplay, I'd believe you. Yeah, don't want another Death Stranding where many people still confuse it for a generic walking simulator, even though it does actually have gameplay from what I've seen. It's just not my type of thing. Yeah, I know. But you get like the way people reacted to it. Hmm. But anyway, yeah. Thank you. Uh, Look, at this point, it looks like a movie. That's all I got from that. Another father son simulator. Interesting how no one ever has a problem with that, but Pragmata became basically World War III for the internet. They never do. What are you? Oh, I can explain that very easily. Oh, the minor attractive person thing. It's a pedophile with a PDF file for with extra steps. But yes, I get what you're referring to. I think the problem was, and like no one, well, some wanted culture where people wanted to say it, but the problem is that you get a weird look if you do, because apparently people are still unable to like grasp that there is a lot of agenda going around with art to the point now whether it's TV, whether it's movies, whether it's gaming or what, or even YouTube, there is a lot of influence that is designed like to mess with us socially. For Pragmata, it undermined a lot of conditioning the last like 10, 15, 20 years has been doing to basically condition people to thinking being a parent is not worth it. So lo and behold, when a game actually rocks up that shows, you know what, it's not that bad. Especially now that you got millennial women realizing that I just waste multiple years of my life chasing corporate approval for a company that doesn't care if I live or die. Look, no one's saying having a family is easy or having a family is guaranteed happiness, but you are more likely to get people in your household and in your family who love you and actually care about you and have your back and like make your life feel more fulfilled than a company that looks at you like a spreadsheet. Some are actually just straight up nefarious. Looking at you, HR, and all those special professions that are now just gone. Tell me again how it it made a like everybody was losing their minds over men saying they want to be parents and all those things. No one wants to talk about the fact that there were women who are outright saying, I also want to have a child." It brings up a question. They're scared that them asking a certain question. Why did I think working and slaving for a company to make a CEO richer was more fulfilling than having a family? Even men who are like choose to live and die at the office and who are horrible human beings also chose family life, even if it took a while. Yeah, some people find meaning in their jobs, and that's fine. You can have meaning in your job, but you have to remember something. It's still just a job. Your career is still just a career. It's not your family. It's not the people. Eventually, your meaning can be bought out by something. Yes, you can argue that the sense of time will get rid of your beloved family, but at least in that gap, you can say, "My family is my family," and the legacy that can exist beyond is your family with the people that you interact with and people you touch. A corporation cannot replicate that, no matter how hard it tries. Not all the Yeah, it's not guaranteed, but yes, you're more likely to have a family that loves you than a company that actually gives a shit to even remember your name. Take a look at Disney. Its entire marketing structure is "we're a family." They don't even call their workers their like park attendees. They call them Disney family members. Interesting how you treat your family and once COVID kicked in. Yeah, yeah, for the streaming platform. Oh, that was glorious. You gotta remember, a lot of people refuse to accept, or they have a hard time separating Disney as that. Look at how people are staunch defenders of Star Wars and Marvel to this day, despite how bad it's gotten. Like you can argue they're just shills. I don't know, man. I think a lot of them actually believe the Kool Aid. They have drunk the Kool Aid and they are in. They are wholly in to this thing, and you can see how disastrous that is. And that's just the package of nostalgia being that potent. Disney and Nintendo are the purest forms, or like the final bosses of we're gonna be evil but pretend we're gonna be decent human beings because remember, we were part of your childhood. Look, man, I remember Disney being a part of my childhood too. That's So Raven, Sweet Life, all of those things. American Dragon, I still maintain deserved another season. But here we sit. I will defend those things. Even underrated shows like Fillmore, I'll defend. But I will tell you now, the world would be better off if Disney disappeared. Theme parks. Yep. Until it stops working. For example, Pragmata. When you're starting to see the cracks in the facade, or what was her name? I think it was Alinity. I think it was either Alinity or someone else. I think maybe it was one of her, whoever was dating Hassan. I don't remember which one. Where you started to see signs where you could see like she was thinking, did I make a mistake going down this path of career and what have you? And I'm sitting there going, look, I can tell you now. Not every man is even happy about the fact that they gave their lives to a company. Why in the hell would you want to? But hey, that's me. I would say I'm more mentally hippie than anything else. So I'm down with the system. I'm not eugenics level like Asmund seems to be on eugenics level, but for me, I don't believe in the company at all. I think a company is just another. You think of how bad, like think Wolfram and Hart. If you watch Angel, that's what I think companies are down to their core. There is not a decent company, just like there's no such thing as a decent politician. I'm jaded, but that's how I think. It's funny how we got onto politics and Disney and all those things with after talking about a dad simulator game. They're heavily influenced. Yeah, because for lo and behold, art makes you think about things. You could think maybe it's not that's the difference between content and actual art. You actually think about it. For example, Stargate, you will actually think about what you watched. Star Wars before it lost its way. As much as it was popcorn movie, as much it wasn't the highest of art, it still made you think about family, loyalty, and actually doing right by the world around you. Then mix that with the current new entertainment of what gaming and things are, where just blow thing up and not think about it too much. Look, time and place for certain things. Sometimes you're just in the mood to break something. I understand that feeling. But there has to be a middle room where you don't sacrifice story. Anyway, we're sidetracking. Let's move on. Pause there. What do you think? I think it was in that sequence, like when he's fighting on the bridge, which was something I was actually thinking about. That might, I, I really hope it's not going to be quick time events. That's actually just how the fight scenes look. If that's the instead of it looking like a yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, it looks okay. It looks actually no, it looks pretty damn cool. The problem is that once again we can't tell what's the gameplay and what's the curated. Yeah, that's the cutscene. I'm thinking it's probably just quick time events, and there is an actual plot in the battlefield. And okay, I'll at least say this: it's piqued my interest, and lately China and Korea have not been dropping the ball. So the West has been the one dropping the ball. They have my they have my good faith. I pray it is. If not, well, there must be balance. Yeah, back in the PS2 era, we had not so great story, but crazy gameplay. And then we'd have great story, lackluster gameplay. It took like a while for the balance to come, and then we lost it in the pursuit of realistic looking stuff. Look, don't get me wrong. I like when my games look good and there's good voice acting, and I'll admit the voice acting in this look it sounded good. My big critique is, as you said, where's the gameplay? So you've shown me everything happy. Personally, I'd be okay with us going back to double A Arkham level of looking like the way our characters used to look. I'd be fine with that. Going back to Arkham, hell, I'm fine with going back to like early PS3 in terms of how our characters looked in the voice acting. This this polished look like looks like it's trying to look completely realistic. It's a meh for me. I'm not a fan of realistic. I believe realism should be left out the door, especially if you're doing something in genre. Apparently, yep. I can tell you why. It's because of they're taught that in school. It's best when it's looking real. It's easier to relate to. The death of imagination, my friend. For from the writers from the perspective of the writing class, because when I was in LA and all those other and when I was in class and even in New York, I would hear how the teachers would talk and how the students would listen. And look, don't get me wrong, I maintain Shakespeare is very important for performers and what have you and writers to know. But the biggest mistake that they do is that they preach it doesn't as if you can't if it's not close to real life, it's not worth it. Or as I like to call it, the Scorsese effect. He went on a whole thing when he was saying that the Marvel movies they don't feel realistic, so to him they're nothing but a roller coaster ride. And people like him and like those snobs of film, they ate that shit up. So to them, they're saying if they're going with the logic of if you can't make it realistic or close to realistic in a way that a person who can't imagine can't get enjoyment out of it or find a connection, like for example, they have to look like us, they have to sound like us, they have to do what we're doing. They can't relate. And that is one of the biggest criticisms that I have when it comes to modern day storytelling. If you're trying to make it realistic, then why are we putting it on TV? If you wanted real life, go outside. Don't get me wrong, you should be able to like tell a story that you should have elements that are realistic. But when you get into a position when all that you're doing is how can I make it summed up in real life? Let's take Thanos as an example, making him an eco-terrorist instead of what he was in the original writing of Marvel. The dude was just a lunatic who was trying to impress the embodiment of death. In layman's terms, he was a simp. Nowadays, where you introduce the concept of a simp, you're automatically put in a position where you're looked at as that's not realistic or that's not. I can't wrap my head around it. Like people were like doing who had the worst backstory, had the worst reason to be a villain, and they brought up a couple of characters, and a lot of them kept always putting the guy from Megamind who was doing it because he was a simp. That's why he was a bad guy, and all that they were saying that he's the dumbest reason for being a villain. And I always stress this to people: the you do realize that the bad guy Megamind, it was ego. No, not Megamind, the villain, Titan. I think he's called Titan. Yes, they're going like he's a simp, and that's not a good reason to be a villain. I'm sitting here going like, guys, you know how many wars have been fought over women, how many wars and battles and murder have been not even just women, just ego being slighted. It's a biological urge to do something stupid for the opposite sex. It's biological, whether it's your parent or whether it's your friend, whether it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend. It's just encoded in the way biology works. We're coded to be this kind of way. So when you say relationship wise was the dumbest idea, I say no. And it's one of the bigger problems of storytelling. They're trying to make things real when that's the worst direction you can take the story, in my opinion. Have realistic elements and motives, but don't make it feel like don't walk away from the fact that this is supposed to be genre. This is supposed to be bigger than life. Sorry. Not just that, you could show somebody what we've seen so far and tell them their animated TV shows that are coming to Netflix. They'd believe you. Hey man, a lot of people, well, it doesn't really matter with some people. They can't even tell the difference in terms of what's anim. They can't tell the difference between real life and animation because of how you've seen people saying she looks like she's a child. You're a pedophile for watching that or playing that. All I say to that is, you do know this is a hand drawing, right? Like they go like, what does it represent? Good fucking lord, guys, it's just fiction. And I blame these photorealism and all of these attempts to try to make this shit real life or look like real life. This shit looks like things you and people who are parasocial as all hell. Don't get me wrong, I like my VTuber waifus just as much as the next weeb, but no, just no. Yeah, hey man, I'm down bad, but I'm not as down bad as some of these people who are. Are you eating? I saw videos of people drinking drinks that were mixed with women's feet. Like like it started with one woman cosplayer, and it just exploded. And now they're just drinking foot juice mixed with alcohol or mixed with soda or juice or punch or whatever. They're just drinking feet juice. And I'm look, man, I'm down bad, but I'm down bad, but there are levels to this. That there are limits. There are limits that have to be brought in. I don't want to kink shame, but no, I may have not been able to stop furries. No, I may not have been able to stop furries, but I'll be damned if this foot shit continues. It is a thing. There's left hand. You know what? No, 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 no. Hit play. I'm done. No, no, no. I refuse. Just hit play. We're moving on. Okay, so then that was cutscene, judging by what that was written there. Wow, us Japan. Oh, so it's Yakuza. Wish listing now. Set in that world, maybe, or taking heavy inspiration. Either way, I'm in. Snoop Dogg, Tori Kelly, Pac. Fuck waiting and seeing. It's already. I'm wish listing now. That is 110% on my thing, on my page, on my. Yeah, you get the idea. Pause there. Okay. Thank you for pausing, man. I'm telling you right now, I am going to play the ever loving hell out of this. Just shut up and take my money. You got it. You got it. Y'all got it. Just have fun with it. If you don't let me say, if you don't let me say, clack the clack, as I'm killing somebody, then you know we got a problem. Snoop D-O double G. As much as I love Snoop Dogg, are we not going to address the elephant in the room? Pac? Ah, then I'm keeping it. I want it. I mean, we had Miracle Johnson. How in the hell did you get the rights to Snoop and Pac? I'm wondering, is there anybody in his family still around? I mean, I know he's because he didn't have kids, at least as far as I know, and his mom died. mm, I would assume so. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Let me see if there's any surviving relatives of Pac. But yeah. Anyway, what do you think? What are your thoughts so far? Because we might as well do that now while we're on pause. Hmm. I mean, look, Yakuza always a fun ride, or Like a Dragon, sorry, for the purists. But man, it just brings a tear to my eye. Hmm. Well, wait. If we're gonna do that, then how are they gonna align American rappers into the way the Yakuza functions? I'm actually lost of how they have involvement in the origin of either or, because they had their own. Because remember, they had their own when Pac and Snoop were young. When Snoop was young and Pac was around, they were in the middle of their own Crips versus Blood beef era when they were really at each other's throats. That's when they were around NWA, that era when they were really going wild. So what would they had their own things going on. Their involvement in Japan with the Yakuza feels weird. How in the hell did that work? Or was it like a friend of a friend thing? And he somehow ended up meeting famous rapper gangsters. Look, man, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Whether it's Kiryu, whether it's Goro, whether it's whoever, I'm in it. What? What? And what? He brought East and West Side with him. Well, maybe Japan will learn about the ghetto gospel. Yeah, it's just balls out insanity. Yup. Ah, I would have went Wu-Tang Clan, but sure. I mean, I'm happy to see Pac again. I mean, Wu-Tang and Japan, like Wu-Tang and Asia are very close. They were very loved and they love Asia. So I can understand if they were involved. Yeah, yeah, who knows? I think the rappers would be happy with that because they have a big issue with piracy. Yep, Thug Life, Shook Knight, and Death Row Records, and all of them. Please make that real. Please make that real. Bring Def Jam, Battle for New York, please. Bring it back. Oh, when the Americans have their winter. Okay, so so basically, what was it called again? This Sinking City, but with whatever the gimmick is this time. It froze. Okay, so aliens instead of Eldritch horrors. Cool. No, not by the looks of it. Their folklore is very, very identifiable. Come on, he just wants a hug. Yep, judging by the tech, we're going aliens. Patience, my friend. Is the third one out? Yeah, I know it's been announced, but I didn't know it was that. Wait, shh. Hi, Pennywise. As far as I know, no. They've had evil clowns before, but they've never had. Well, okay, say what you will about art. We all know Pennywise is the king of evil clowns. Between real life influence and this, yes. Nah, they've just got like slashers and some their own creatures. It's becoming Fortnite of horror villains, right? This at this point. And more Souls like. Gotta love them. You know, if we're gonna just keep like milking, if we're gonna keep milking that bedrock, can we just bring Bloodborne back at this point? Then it's like right there. I have no idea. The implication of your sentence is making it sound like the Wild Wild West had mechs to begin with. Oh, the one with Will Smith. Yeah, I remember. I think it's heavily underrated. I remember its soundtrack more. And yeah, it's ass, but it's underrated. It's still a bad movie, true, but it's yeah, it was a fun movie. Plus Salma Hayek. I mean, I'm if you're a man, if you're a straight man and you're not into Salma Hayek, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Anyway, look for me. This doesn't exactly grab me. Oh yeah, so you're saying? Yeah, even some gay men like her, at least her personality. She's fun. Eh, for me, it's not grabbing me. Neat. I mean, for those who are into it, I'm happy for you. What? Again? Again? Hey man, for those who are into it, I hope you're happy. Eh, sometimes it's not the worst thing. In decent hands. Hey, if it wasn't for Ubisoft, we wouldn't have Expedition 33 cast members. I mean, like workers, well, not cast members, workers. So it's not all bad, even if they. I ain't got nothing. I got nothing for that. I'm sorry. Even after they doesn't even have to get that far. They won't even get that far to milk it. They'll probably just screw the pooch. I got nothing. I'm sorry. Eh, eh. And now I'm pissed. What the hell is this? No, I'm mad about that song. How do you ruin that song? Yeah. I Well, we saw some. No, we saw some climbing and something like that. You want combat? Yeah, I figured. Well, yeah. I don't know what to tell you, mate. I know Kyle will be pissed, or he'd be happy. I don't know, judging by him these days. He likes the new ones. Ah, makes sense. Mm-hmm. Oh, the last Ronin. Do you want a crash course on what the last Ronin is, or? Yeah, poor Mikey. They're probably gonna just follow the comic. Well, did it not? Did they not show the names there? Wait, go back. Let me see. Oh, good lord, it's they. Yeah, that makes sense. They own the IP. Oh, they're about to own the IP. Well, uh, let's do a quick search. What are the current games that are under Platinum, that are under Paramount? And yeah, because they showed us all the good shit that we know, like Near Automata and what have you. So just check what else they got. Name them. Yeah, nostalgia. Hmm. Like, give me an example. Oh yeah. thing. Okay. Half shell, turtle power. My question is, why use the old TMNT song when it's not really the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just one of them? I mean, for TMNT, I'm not all that excited because look, I outgrew the Turtles a while ago, especially after having bad adaptations over and over again. I don't know what to tell you, man. When Fortnite came in, I basically just mentally tuned out. So, do you care about Fortnite? Because I honestly just tune out when Fortnite becomes a topic of conversation. I'm kind of like that with all live service games like this. Welcome to Fortnite Shattered. I get the feeling it's gonna be something live serviced. Gundam Deku. So it's gonna be an RPG or fighting game. What? We'll see. Well, let's see. Google it and just to be sure. Hold on, I mean, there has to be some game out there that's good that's called Rogue. Down, boys. Ah. Well, hopefully it's as good as some of the good seasons of Gundam. So a couples game. What's the age range for this thing? Easy. Ironic, the Uncharted game that was done by a man was the shitty one. You know? He could have just responded with, and I don't care what you think of me. So non Star Wars Battlefront 2. Looking at what we've got here, I think you can live without that nyash. Crossfire. Are any of them good? Why why try to fix what ain't broken? Let you be in the control of stealth? Simple. They let a woman be in charge. You let a woman be in charge. Okay, pause that. No. What in the ever loving hell is that? No, I meant that music. What in the fuck was that? This is still this is still supposed to be creepy, right? No, that was the thing that they were trying to contain in the first place, remember? That and temporarily. Like they make it very clear it's temporary. Again, this is what happens when you have that's what happens when you have a woman in charge. Whoever's handling your music, fire them. All right, what do you think? Pause. What do you think? Interested in Control? Any interest in the game? I mean, I'm sure there's some clips out there with the gameplay. I know I've seen a couple. But yes, that one barely. Yeah. I mean, I think that yeah. The first game, I'll admit, the ambiance was pretty good. It did make you feel like you were in, what's the best way I can phrase it? You were in an episode of X-Files. Yeah. If I remember correctly, she's supposed to still be. If I remember correctly, she's still supposed to be in the main building office. She's supposed to be in her office. She can't leave the building because if she leaves, if I remember hearing correctly, it's the hiss is gonna get out or something like that. Like, or not like the hiss. Something else is gonna get out. She has to maintain the old house. If I heard correctly, that's what I remember hearing way, way back when I first heard about this game and why she's not playable. Well, I would say if I was to gauge, I would assume it's if I was to assume what it would be, whatever controls the hiss. Yes. Who's to say there's not another one? That's the thing. That's the direction I'm gonna go with. Yes, I'm doing their homework for them, trying to like put the pieces together. But like I said before, you just gotta. Well, not like I said before. We're going like I would say, the best way to enjoy this thing is just to enjoy the ride. It took They took away some of the ambiance, but it'd be like that. What else we got? Horizon? Well, we did have a complaint that it was very boring and like hollow. Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there, honey. I don't care. We do not care. Oh, it's Guild Wars. Eh, without Grums in the original group, what are they gonna do? Not bad. Oh fuck. Yes, I heard about this on Flashcast yesterday. Well, when I watched it yesterday, I was listening to Flashcast yesterday, and yeah, they brought this up. This is gonna be a pod racer. I'm with Yellow Flash. I cannot muster a single iota of caring. Kit? Was that Kit Fisto? Or was a member of his species, probably? Because, like, why would a Jedi Knight be doing this? Because, member? Anakin? Member? Pause there. I'm gonna freaking say it. The brand is so damaged, I can't muster a single level of I give a fuck. I just can't. Like, I got nothing to add. Like, I really just can't muster an iota of caring of when anything Star Wars. Like, the moment I heard Star Wars, my brain just went, oh, here we go. You know what? Let's just move on, because I got nothing nice to say. I have no idea. Uh, I want to go with. I don't know. Like it. Pause there. It looks like a better upscaled version of Little Nightmares. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. We're gonna just move on, I guess, to whatever this is. Any idea what this is? Last Harbor. Ooh, that's an oldie but a goodie. Like that's just old and dated. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see them again, but okay. It may be the nostalgia talking, but yeah, I think I'm interested in this one. No, yeah, I guess. So what, you think you're gonna go for it? The fuck was that? No, not that. I heard a. No, not that. I heard something just now. No, it was like a sound effect that was like blaring over everything else. No, probably. You thinking of grabbing it? Ah, so it's something for you to look forward to. For me, I'll take a back seat. I'll hear what you say. Yep. I don't know. Yeah, no. Pause there. I'm gonna show my weep side, but I don't give a damn. The only mafia-based game I care about at this point is GTA. No, never mind, not GTA. It was Saints Row, which failed me, and Yakuza. They're the only mafia-based games I give two shits about. I give zero shits to GTA. I give zero shits to Saints Row, and I give zero shits to this. Look, it's it's basically Godfather. It's like the old Godfather PS2 game by the feel when I remember playing it. But even still, look, man, I'm good. I prefer Yakuza because it's wilder and fun, and it doesn't give a damn. Peh, the French. Jigsaw, the puppet, Billy, but play a game. We really gotta do gimmicks, don't we? Pause there. So, would you like to play a game? Not a fan of horror, huh? Not into Saw, huh? It's what you have to expect with Jigsaw. But that's the thing. This is taking place years before Jigsaw. This is, by the looks of it, who inspired him, even though the idea was that he never had really any inspiration outside of his traumatic reasoning for being a monster. Yep. Changing the plot. Yeah. Like I said, just make a Bloodborne 2. Well, the last one just looks like it was a generic racing game. Well, pod racing game. Wait, double back, double back, double back, double back. Further. Okay. No, further back. Back. Okay, let it play. Okay. Oh, please tell me this isn't taking place during the war. We saw a lightsaber. Oh, fuck off. Fuck you, Dave Filoni. Fuck you. The Clone Wars has been milked to death. No, that one I think the new Empire was still making their waves again. Or So a role playing Suicide Squad meets Star Wars. How anybody can think video games are at their best right now? Member, member Anakin, I member. That's not dark fantasy. Huh? Wait, what? What happened now? No. One of the who? Who did this? Mm, mm. Wait, when you say sexually harassing, are you just saying they one person touched them in a bad place, or are you saying like they were really trying to? If somebody didn't stop them, they would have done penetration. Ah, yikes! And they barely do themselves. Feminism, Me Too feminism, Me Too, and TikTok have done immeasurable damage to people, to society, and even dating culture. Yeah, well, that's nothing. Yeah, that doesn't do. Yeah, as sad as that is, that's not new. Men can scream no all they want, no one cares. It's a shitty side of life, but it is what it is. Why are you still here? Brother man, why are you still there? Vampire the Masquerade? Uh, what do you think though? Eh, at this point, I'm used to it when it comes to Western storytelling. They got no respect. I just go to Asia. They have more respect for Christianity than anybody else lately. It was more of a reminder to watch Vampire Diaries than the originals, actually, to me. What trailer was the trailer for the prequel? Ah, oh joy! Can't wait to see the creepypastas that revolve around that. From a game that was basically a detective simulator already, but with crowd mentality. Oh, hey, Shirley. I miss Community. Well, when it was still good. Oh, good lord, the gimmicks. Oh, good lord, the gimmicks. You know, just because you're marketing this thing to kids and people who have nostalgia doesn't mean you have to write as if we're retards or high. Uh, Yep. Anybody else just remember Yugi Moto? Yep. Uh, I don't. I can't tell for sure. I cannot tell you. Take flight. Oh, CD Project. Oh, for fuck's sake! You couldn't get the original voice. Cyberpunk is anime GTA. Can't wait to see the internet go mad over her again. You can't sexualize her. She's a lolly. Oh, fuck off. They do seem to be growing all their age. They're the only ones that seem to make money. There are a lot of sexually oppressed men who are looking for attractive female characters. Capcom presents. I'm not a Monster Hunter guy, so I'm gonna leave you to that. I need to go take a trip to the. I need to take a trip to the loo, and I'm getting peckish, so I'll be right back. You might you might as well continue. I'm not a Monster Hunter guy. Yo, I'm back. Yep. Oh no, go ahead. I'm right here for it. I actually wanted to ask you, what were your thoughts on Monster Hunter? Excited? Any particular reason? Yeah, that I remember. A buggy mess again? Ooh. Well, they have to balance it somehow. Ugh. You are a hard, hard man to please. I'm sorry, is somebody talking about Overwatch for a second? No, I'm just making a crack at the fact. I'm just making a. Sorry, I was just making a crack about Overwatch nerfing their characters to high heaven and hell. It's called a quiet backtrack, buddy. Yes. Then it's not a quiet backtrack. It's what companies do when they make a mistake. They just quietly backtrack and pretend you didn't see anything. Classy. Classy. I question that because after a large amount of time of watching Blizzard and all their shenanigans, I really do question if there is an actual human being there. Wait, was over? Am I correct? Was Overwatch Blizzard? Okay, yeah. Sorry, it's hard to keep track of all the nonsense, especially when it comes to companies like Blizzard and just controversies with games. It's a mission and a half. Overwatch, I was never really all that into, but I remember the shenanigans. Mm, pothead for the win. Mm, I'm mad at. Well, this is just because of my priorities. Because I already know there's some nasty motherfuckers out there. I'm wondering who in the hell thought it was a good idea to backtrack on Trace's ass, and also who was smart. Who was think. Also, who was. Yeah, I was about to ask who in the right mind also thought that was a good idea. You want to dodge Bill Cosby, but you go with porn star instead? What is wrong with you people? I know. Everyone in Overwatch is basically gay. It wasn't that okay. Let's be real. It wasn't that great, but yeah, for a British, even for a British white girl, it was pathetic. Even for a British white girl, it's pretty bad. Look, I'm all for the itty bitty titty committee. I'll defend them to the high heavens, but I refuse to defend a small ass. I refuse. I may be an ass man, but there are limits. There are limits to this. I have to have some limits. Cause that shit is disgusting. She can be fully grown all she wants, but it's just a thing that I can just not in good conscience support. Uh, huh. What's this one? What fresh hell is this one? I'm good. Looks very Dark Soulsy. Uh, Lovely. Okay, we liked Wukong, but this is a little. Don't spam the market, guys. Yeah, they are the great expanders. I swear, while everybody's losing their minds over Jews and Iranians, have they forgotten about China? What is what is your feed? I really have to see what the hell your feed is. Swords of Legend. I mean, looks cool. That's clearly a Souls like. Hold up, pause there. Oh, so we're gonna respect Chinese mythology, but hey, to hell with Greek mythology, right? I hate the West so much, and I'm part of the West. For now, you're just there for studies. Yeah, it is amusingly enough because our the dollar, rand, and what have you, they go a long way over there. I wouldn't recommend China. Korea, look, either way, all of them are currently getting black fatigue, especially foreigner fatigue. Sorry, swap that around. They're having foreigner fatigue, especially black foreigner fatigue. So be careful with that thought. That in We don't actually have a good track record with them overall. Black people and Asians don't have a very good track record together. COVID just made things a massively amount worse. You want to know why they? You want to know why they stopped that whole hashtag Stop Asian Hate? Because they found out the amount of attacks on Asian people, especially Chinese people, were done by black people. That's why it stopped. Looking at you, Jews. Looking at you, Iranians. Anyway, before my channel gets taken down, let's continue. Good Lord, Hot Wheels. I mean, I'm not complaining, but just jeez. Nah, I'd say Spyro. Doing Spyro again would be okay. That's a weird one. It'd be because the companies have gone such a long time denying those old IPs. So if they went back, it looks like a massive turnaround. Did you pause? Hello? Is anybody out there? Ah, his power just cut. Since he was the streamer of all of this, it looks like that is it. It sounds like that's it for him for a bit. It's a fun one. Well, I got no other words for this point, so I'm just gonna ask him for the link for how far he is, and then we'll just take it from there. One sec, folks. I promise we'll be right back. Just blunt passive. Are you back? Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just trying to get to the. I'm just loading up Summer Game Fest now. So you lost power, huh? Do your best. Yeah, India's heat is no joke. Okay, so gonna close that stream and then share my screen. Can you see? Son of a. Alright, give me a sec. Alright, I'm just gonna close that. Close that. Streaming. How did you do that? How did you set it up like its own separate thing again? One sec. Can you see? Why did I dislike? Yep. Okay. Why is it slow? I'm just gonna do this. I cannot minimize anything. I don't know how you did it before, why you could have you could have another tab open or another window open, but I'm stuck like this for the looks of it. I did. All right, let me try again. Nope. But you can see just fine. Even now. Sweet. Whoops. What's up? Sorry, my I had to leave the room for a bit. Something just came up. What's up? You're fading. Well, you did what you could. I'll do what I'll do what I can. Well, folks, you heard it from the guy himself. He can't continue. He doesn't do well with heat, and he's in India, so that's fun. If there's anybody here, night. Ooh, clap, you seals, clap. Make it loud. Oh, this has got Theater Kid written all over it. Okay, I'll admit it's catchy. Okay, so turn based. Sea remnants. Oh, good lord, it looks like a register type. Wait, what in the hell's with the whole Western motif?